as the archangels and archai come in your midst, the atmosphere about you is cleansed by the fires of their purity. For yes, blessed hearts, you have among you the angels of Zadkiel and holy amethyst. You have the fullest opportunity to bring about all that is necessary for you in this lifetime to complete. Are you quite aware of how the vibration shifts when we are present in your midst? Those who are timid, who have fear running through their veins instead of the courage and strength of the Christ light, know not how to approach our fire. But rest assured, blessed hearts, that we reach out to you in the most delicate manner, so as not to bring fright in your world, send you scurrying, so that you might absorb more of that realm of perfection from whence we come, and hence draw forth more of your own God presence. How easy it is for you to ignore those things in your life that require the attention of the flame of God. Moving about your day as though you were asleep, meandering through life as though you had no direction. These life streams, blessed ones, are those that have not ignited sufficiently the Christ light from within to move their direction, to ignite the consciousness with God direction and wisdom to know how to draw into their life all that is required, every necessity that the presence of God has deemed a requirement for the attainment and mastery that you are to accomplish. So you have been given the violet flame. You have been taught how to call it forth. Many of you have understood the disciplines of the law, requiring you to transmute and balance your own karma, as well as assist the fabric of all of the sons and daughters of God to have enough peace and the charge of light to see themselves clear into the new day, the day of the sun dawning of their Christhood. But are you achieving that burning desire upon the altar of your heart? Have you adopted the day-to-day activities that will continue to foster more of that Christhood in your life? Or is there somehow an ignorance of all of the promptings you have received, thinking that one day you will stand before your altar and all will be right in your world? You will deal with it, whatever that unreality is in your life at that time. For today, you are too busy, too burdened, too needy to have one more erg of energy, invoking the light of God before your altar. Does that sound practical to you? Is there any wisdom to that course of action for any son or daughter of God? All things come to those who wait upon the Lord, who understand the fullness of the pressure of light upon their vehicles of consciousness and are receptive to that light, are willing to invite that light into their chalice, and then guard that light, so that when the need arises in the day, you are prepared. Oh, many of the parables told throughout the ages have spoken of being prepared, trimming your lamps, waiting for that moment when the Christ would come. The Christ is already here, blessed hearts, for that Christ lives within your own heart flame. The choices that you make, the decisions and the elections of each day determine whether or not that Christ light will come forth, whether you will hear the voice of your own God presence through that office of the Holy Christ presence, whether or not you will have enough of the impetus of God surging through you to allow you to have the strength to keep on for another day. You know not when the new day will bring the final victory. Would it not be sad indeed if you were to reach that day and be unprepared, having sloughed off the promptings of the inner voice of God, having ignored the disciplines that you knew well, for you had already tried the light of God in the crucible of life and had understood that it was very good. But if there is the constant ignorance of all that is good for you, what then remains? Are you to be buffeted about by the school of hard knocks of earth's life, leaving this lifetime no more prepared for your inner life, no more attained or masterful on those areas of the rays of God consciousness that you, before this incarnation, had desired to achieve. Is there not more to life than what you are experiencing? There is always more to life, blessed hearts. For as you stand in the fullness and alignment with the God consciousness of the heart, the very heart of God, you know what it means to be filled, to no longer have desires for anything save the desire to stay within that presence of God. You remain fully committed to wherever your presence desires to send you. You are ready to act upon the slightest nuance that your presence desires, to speak the very words, to emanate the very energy, the love, the compassion, the caring from your own heart flame. And as your countenance radiates that light, you begin to appreciate how it is not this outer shell of a man that is performing this task, but it is the inner heart, the God within, that must be drawn forth for all to see, to know. And when this occurs, blessed hearts, you want for nothing save the presence of God. You are prepared for our holy angels to come in your midst. And when they come, you are ready to receive the blessings that they bestow upon your life stream. And what a glorious occasion it is when you can send back to those angels your gratitude for their assistance. How often they are unnoticed, and they have accomplished great feats for your safety, your well-being, setting in motion cycles so that you would have opportunity to express the presence of God, that Christ light within you. Another day and another opportunity with which you might know the I am. As you are committed more and more each day to the expression of God from within you, to be given freely, wholly, lovingly to those you come in contact. Then you know how glorious it is to stand in the presence of the light of God. Throughout the many cycles, year in and year out, of this current lifetime, you can trace the circumstances of your life and jot down what are those important occasions and how did they come about. Was it by the brute force of your own human will? Or was there the intercession from things unseen, forces unknown, angels unaware that assisted you? And can you be sure that there have been any occasions without their intercession? When you know the answer to this, and you have understood what is expected of you, then, blessed hearts, you are ready for the glorious work of the mighty I Am Presence. For it takes that understanding as the integration of the mighty I Am Presence into the fabric of your life to allow for the fullness of your divine mission. Keeping a listening ear, always guarding that your attunement is to the presence of God, first and foremost. Observing how you can do more to prepare these vehicles to receive that presence of God. All this, blessed hearts, sets in motion the light of God to prepare your pathway, to prepare your destiny. And it is that destiny that you must be about. For that will of God is first and foremost the highest priority of your life. And you know that will when you know God, and you know God when you receive God into your life. And when you receive God into your life, you know what it means to stand in the presence of angels, to hear their voices in song, to hear the sound of the light streaming forth as great orchestras of the music of the spheres, allowing for that intonation of the highest purity of God to sweep through the land, and in doing so, lift the consciousness of mankind a little more each time. Do not forget our holy angels that prepare you for the sacred services that you must render. Let your heart be so enthralled with God that no other thing interferes with that communion. And when you are called to step forth, defending the innocent, the holy, those in need, you know well what is expected of you, for it is resonating through your own heart flame, unfurling into your actions, your thoughts, your words. And you are prepared. Do not think that merely to be in the proximity of our flame is sufficient to grant you a mantle of your Christhood. You must do the work. You must, by the flame upon the altar of your heart, forge your communion with the mighty I Am Presence. Right from these outer vehicles, allowing for the intonation of the vibration of God to keep you always prepared, always at the ready, so that just as the holy angels rush to your assistance, you are prepared to rush to the assistance of those whom you are guided to. This is a glorious time, for the earth is filled with rejoicing of the Christmas tide. Let your voices be raised on high in the communion and vibration with the intonation of holy angels, so that your voice of the I Am is likewise carried by these holy angels to parts unknown among those sons and daughters of God, those areas of the earth that are yet to be touched by our flame and by your conscious awareness. O blessed hearts, as the Christmas tide continues to build, ushering in a new year, won't you take this opportunity to put into the violet flame all of the remaining karma of this cycle, so that you will not carry it into the new year and have it multiplied. Yes, blessed hearts, things of a negative nature do not stay just in a finite amount or impression upon life. The more they exist, the more they are revolved within the consciousness of the life stream, the more they create suffering to those harmed. They are building. You do not wish to have any vestige of your karma, even from yesterday, carried into the new year. Call upon the law of forgiveness. Invoke the violet flame. call to our angels for your assistance, and allow all that you stand for in thought, word, and deed to be washed clean by the violet flame, to leave your consciousness pure and holy to enter the new year and walk into the new year as the newborn Christ, ready to receive direction from the mighty I Am Presence. Glory to God throughout the earth, for the holy angels are sweeping the land, clearing away all that would impinge upon the sight, the hearing, the receptivity of the heart to know God. We stand before you, the Archangel and Archai of the seventh ray, Zadkiel, holy amethyst, and our oneness in the light of God will stand on each side of you, allowing for your presence to be in the center, thrusting your purpose in life as the Christ into the new year. But first you must do the work. You must transmute all that would stand between you and the purity of consciousness required for this glorious new day in the sun. Be sealed in our light, and let that light shine forth through you in all your affairs, nevermore to be covered over, silted with a human consciousness, but for eternity to shine forth as the Christ light carries you to the ascension and ultimately that eternal light as the newly ascended one. Let that light and the intonation seal your crown so that you might be open to our blessing.